Hi legends, the price of Bitcoin is tanking here to the downside, as they like to say, and I can just imagine the fear that this is creating at the moment. Is a bounce still on the cards? Is the structure way more aggressive to the downside than what we anticipated? Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together, and let me show you what I will be looking for potential reversal back to the upside. So remember, as per the disclaimer, this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial investment or trading advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and crypto trading involves significant risk of loss. I walk you through the levels I am watching and how I approach the markets, and I share how I trade the markets. This is just my personal approach and not recommendations. So now, remember to smash up that like button and let's dive right in. So looking at Bitcoin here on the 8-hour time frame, when I switch on the fixed range profile for this entire range that Bitcoin has been in, you can see that Bitcoin, failed to maintain price above the value area high. So what this basically means is the deviation above and price could definitely come back down to the bottom of the value area low, of which the range can still continue sideways. Basically, the range can still continue sideways. But what is interesting about this range is it does show you the volume nodes where price got reactions. You can see how price got a reaction over here, failed to break out at this high volume node. Now price is at this high volume node at the moment where it's struggling to find support and currently trading below this high volume node. But there's a cluster of volume over here where Bitcoin still has to pierce through if it wants to continue to the downside. So there's definitely still the possibility for a bounce to at least correct this structure, a bounce, and worst case scenario is price then continues to the downside to go and eat the $60,000 low. Now also, when I take a FIP basically from the low of the structure to the high of the structure, you can see that I have my FIP levels ready over here to see, well, where is price going to slow down and find its feet. At the moment, there was a small little consolidation at the 0.5 Fibonacci, and a little bit further down, the 0.618 together with the 0.7 and 0.786 FIP levels is definitely a zone that can still provide support. You can see it's also supported by high volume. That point of control is also at the 0.7 Fibonacci. What is interesting about this FIP pool is when I switch it back to the logarithmic scale, you can see that price is still, consolidating here at the 0.5. And it's definitely still a possibility that price can slow down over here and get a little bit of a relief bounce back to the upside. You can see it happened here at the 0.382, where price, it looked like it wanted to lose the level, and then it got a little bit of a corrective structure here to the upside. So definitely something that could also play out over here. Price gets a little bit of a corrective structure here back to the upside, after which it can still continue to the next FIP level. So we're basically trying to time the bottom, which is not easy because price can bounce at any moment and find its feet. And I think if price gains acceptance back above these lows, that could be a sign of strength. It could be a small little bounce back to the upside for continuation to the downside, or it could be a larger corrective structure to correct this structure to the downside, three-wave corrective structure, after which you see continuation back to the downside. Also, inside of this zone, if this area does not hold, down here by the 0.618 and 0.7 Fibonacci levels, there's also the point of control of this entire range, which basically means this is where the highest amount of volume was traded. So if price does continue here to the downside, definitely an area where I will be paying attention for a reversal back to the upside, either corrective for continuation back to the downside, or this could be a bigger impulse where I want to see a 5-wave move up, 3-wave corrective structure, after which I want to see continuation back to the upside. Now, also from a support and resistance perspective, you can see that price is at the moment still at support. And this is definitely an area where price can, for now in the short term, find its feet. And then next area of support is this high volume node that has confluence with the 0.618, like I've mentioned, and the 0.7 Fibonacci, where you also have the point of control where the most amount of volume was traded and the value area low of this entire range that Bitcoin has formed since Friday, the 6th of February. I know, looking at the structure here to the downside, I know that there is a possibility for price to form nested 1-2s here to the downside, which is currently the most bearish case scenario, where price could be developing basically a 1-2 another 1-2, and then it could absolutely capitulate to the downside in a nested 1-2s to the downside. There's unfortunately not enough price action to give the scenario the highest probability. 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4-5, 4-5. This scenario is definitely still on the cards. What I will do is inside of the community today, I'm going to do a private live stream to see if we can scalp, okay, maybe some shorts and longs, and perhaps even catch this little bottom here for a bigger reversal to the upside. That live stream will be done privately inside of my Telegram community. If you'd like to be part of the community, remember it's always the first link down in the description of this video. Send me the word access on Telegram. There's my Telegram, and I'll send you the instructions on how to join the community. This week I am planning to do a couple of private live streams where we can do some scalps, maybe trade the 1 minute time frame, or potentially even catch this little bottom here to the downside for perhaps that bigger reversal for a nice little day trade. Now, for the most bearish case scenario, without going into too much detail in terms of what structure is forming here to the downside, we have been speaking about this scenario for weeks now, and that is also why I jumped into that short. I have closed that position. I was happy with the profit. So now I'm looking for a fresh trade. I basically closed my position here at this low because I told everyone this is the profit taking area that I'm eyeing for that short that I caught there to the upside. Yes, maybe I should have left a runner, but sometimes it is what it is. I'm still happy with the profits that I've made to the downside. But now I'm very interested in a long or a short, depending on how the structure develops, which I will share inside of my Telegram community. So in this most bearish case scenario, regardless of how you count the structure here to the downside from an Elliott wave perspective, price has formed a 3-wave structure to the upside. And price could form nested 1-2s however it wants to get here to the downside. But the fact remains that this structure is completed as a 3-wave structure, and there's a possibility that this structure here to the downside can go and eat up the $60,000 low, just like what happened over here. Okay, price falls to the downside, creates a 3-wave structure to the upside, and then absolutely just tanks here to the downside after it builds those nested 1-2s here to the upside, which could still be the case that is forming over here. Nested 1-2s, and then you get that aggressive drop to the downside to go and claim the $60,000 low. And the one thing I want to point out is that the bull moon has printed over the weekend. For those of you that's heard me speak about the bear and the bull moons, you know that this indicator is around 74% accurate. And you can see just during the range that is formed over here, you print a bull moon, price finds a little bit more of upwards momentum and creates a consolidation. But it does fall. It can fall. You can see over here that price, although it created the consolidation to the upside, it did fall here to the downside. So that is a possibility that could happen over here. Perhaps price consolidates back to the upside like it did over here, and then price dumps here to the downside. So this can definitely play out over here. But based on the accuracy of this indicator, it is rare to see something like this, because you can also see the bull moon prints, you at least get upwards momentum. The bear moon prints, downwards momentum. Bull moon, upwards momentum. Bear moon, downwards momentum. And for those of you that remember, every time I analyze the structure here on the price of Bitcoin, when this bear moon printed, I told everyone the probabilities because of the bear moon that's printing for price to absolutely rampage to the upside is low, and that will be one for the history books. Just like this one is one for the history books, and this does not play out often. So because of the bull moon that is printed over here, at a bare minimum, I would at least expect price to find its feet and at least correct a little bit to the upside for that day trading scenario that I'm looking for. Best case scenario is price forms a larger structure to the upside because of the buying pressure that is in the sky at the moment. Now, let's go on to the smaller time frames here on the 4-hour time frame and talk about this structure that is forming here to the downside. Remember, worst case scenario is that price has formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. Correction, and now it can form another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. Can you see that I'm still looking for that correction? Because even in a double 1, 2, you still expect price to at least give you a little bit of a bounce. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then price can capitulate to the downside. But this is also an opportunity where price could reverse and give us a larger relief rally to the upside, invalidating nested 1-2s to the downside. Now, the first scenario that I would like to talk about is price is forming a WXY corrective structure to the downside. Price has formed an ABC and a wave W. I know that for some technical analysts, they do like to move the W to this structure, okay, but the outcome is the same. You're looking, after a W, you're looking for a 3-wave structure to the downside. After X, whether you put W over there or whether you leave W over here, okay, after X, you expect price to form a three-wave structure to the downside. And now you can see price has now tapped the one-to-one extension, which is a target for a Y wave. WXY or WXY. The reason I don't like personally, it's just a personal preference, the reason I don't like to place my W over there is because this AB, the B tapped the 1.618, which gives the W being in this spot not the greatest look and feel for me, and this is why I moved my W over there. But it doesn't matter, like I mentioned yesterday in my live stream, it doesn't matter how you count the internal structure, okay? It is this move that provides the same outcome. So basically in this scenario, you can see the one-to-one extension is a target for this final leg here to the downside, but it can still get aggressive and price could still chop here to the downside because the 1.236 and the 1.382 are also Y wave targets. And if that aligns with other areas of support and confluence, definitely a zone where I'll be interested in a long. Just like what is happening here at the moment at the one-to-one extension. Price could find its feet where it is right now and get a little bit of a bounce back to the upside based on the reaction that I see here at the one-to-one extension. But now when I switch price back to the regular scale, and this is why I'm saying I'm going to go live in the community and we're going to watch these levels together, you will see that the one-to-one extension is still a little bit further down. Okay, so based on this reaction that I'm seeing here on the log scale, that is the reaction that I would like to see when price moves down a little bit more. Okay, I want to see that reaction. I want to see price trade above my area of interest so that I know where to put my stop loss. And this could be a larger relief rally back to the upside. And remember, guys, I'm just looking for that day trade opportunity. I want to get in, scratch my dollars from the market and get out, potentially even look for a shorting opportunity as price moves to the upside. Now, there's also a scenario where this impulse to the downside is coming to an end. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is concerning about this last leg to the downside is that I can count a completed 5-wave structure to the downside in the last leg. You can see that I can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this little leg to the downside can be coming to its end stages. Also, I'll dive into this local structure in a moment and share with you what will be a little bit of a confirmation that I will be looking at to see that there is a reversal on the horizon. But now, okay, on the smaller time frames, I can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when I go to the 4-hour time frame, it looks like the structure needs one more leg to the downside. As you can see over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, inside of your 5th wave, you need to see 5-wave structures. So on the higher time frame, this looks like one move to the downside, 2, and maybe this is the 3, which can accelerate to the downside, and then it forms a 4 and a 5. And remember, I will be paying attention to those areas to the downside that I've highlighted during the beginning of this video. So basically, in a nutshell, this 5th wave can still extend here to the downside. Okay, now from a simplicity perspective, okay, let's go on to the 15-minute time frame, and let me share with you what I will be looking at for confirmation that price could be slowing down and it's starting to curl back to the upside. Okay, the simplest thing for me is to keep an eye on the momentum. I want momentum to start shifting. Let me just make that nice and thick so everyone can see. So from a trend line perspective, you can see, okay, price has formed a high and a low. A lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So from a structural perspective, what you would like to see is for price to go back up and take this high. That is the first sign that the bulls could be reversing the price action. From a structural perspective, you want to see this high at least claimed. Then the retracement obviously then becomes an interesting longing opportunity. But from a trend line perspective, I want momentum to start shifting. I want the trend to break. I want price to leave, okay, this downwards momentum and show me that it's starting to reverse. This is not necessarily where I'm going to attempt a long, because what could happen is that price falls down again, claims the low, but what is important is it shows me that momentum is starting to shift. And then the SFPs from these lows, okay, becomes very interesting, because what happens is you can see what happened in this structure. This structure had aggressive momentum to the downside. You can see the trends are more or less the same angle to the downside. Price broke out, okay, but this is not where I went long. I played a long over there. Price breaks out, it takes the low, but it shows me that momentum is starting to shift sideways. Either up, it could continue up, or at least I can take advantage of the move like we did on Friday in Friday's live stream, okay. Price dips below, gets acceptance back above, you enter the trade, you know where to put your stop loss, and you take profits at the highs. So I'm looking for that day trading opportunity. And based on what happened there, what I'm looking for is to say that, well, I'm not interested in what happens below the trend, because that also keeps me safe as a trader. Price can still fall here to the downside, but once price breaks out, okay, once price breaks out, now that's where I become interested in a potential long. Exactly what happened there, because what could happen is either price breaks out and it moves higher, or it breaks out and it sweeps the low again, and I will be entering that swing failure pattern. So I know where to put my stop loss, cover my fees, take profits. I know the community knows how I trade, because I'm very defensive, especially with the aggressive momentum here to the downside. Risk management for me is absolute key. Also, something that I'm paying attention to over here is it looks like the biggest move with the most amount of volume already happened inside of this structure. You can see the highest amount of volume is in this structure here to the downside. And now price is chopping the lows, and it looks like this structure could be coming to an end. So I'm basically, what I'm waiting for is price, okay, that's also the break of the trend that I'm very interested. And you wait for momentum to start shifting. Price needs to start going sideways to show you that it's slowing down. So for now, it looks like price is now chopping the lows, and it looks like the biggest move already took place. So chopping the lows over here now looks interesting, because it looks like price could be curling around for perhaps a bigger relief rally here to the upside, or at least a small little correction that can give us a nice little day trading opportunity. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, I'm simply sharing how I approach the markets. And although this looks like an interesting longing opportunity, I realize that price could still move aggressively to the downside. And that is why I practice great risk management, and I look for those confirmations before I take a long or a short entry. Also, as the structure develops, myself and Andy will keep the community up to date. So until the next one, cheers for now.